Welcome back, traders. This is a video how the professional traders look for trades in the week ahead. So let's get started. Today we're going to go straight into charts and I'm going to explain my approach to how to find a good profitable trades. I'm going to go through a lot of examples today. If you watched the previous videos of mine, first thing that I do when I get to the markets, I use basically just a plain vanilla charts or just plain chart with nothing on it, just support and resistance and candles. That's basically the best approach. You can see the whole clear picture of it. When the Sunday comes, I open my charts and I look at the weekly chart. First, the weekly chart, because there could be some changes in the market at that time. And I also look at where the price is at that time. So first of all, I can see the price is at this area here. I would look at the market, what it's doing. So we had the market that's waving to the upside, so the bulls are in control at this point of time. I would mark the most obvious area of support and resistance. This is area of support and resistance. We can see the market was struggling to go through this area, struggling here. When it finally broke out, we have a continuation of the bullish move. We are now located at this area. I'm going to take this. We are located at this area. This is the last high that we have marked on the top. And that's basically what it is. No opportunities that I'm looking at right now to buy on a weekly chart. We are looking at the Netflix at this point of time, Netflix Incorporated. So I'm going to switch now down to a lower chart on 1 day, because there might be an opportunity for me to enter the trade because I can see the price is very close to the area that we marked. So if there's any opportunity, or was there any opportunity for me to enter the trade. So as we can see, the market was waving, the bulls are in control. We marked the area that we are interested in looking for the trade. I'm just going to adjust it to the full top over there. We can see the market broke out. So once you see the market is breaking out of this area, this is a very important area again, because the market stalled at it and just pulled back, and we can see there was a huge pullback there. So this must be a very significant area. Once we break out of that area, which we did with this candle, so once we break out of this area here, because we know that this area was quite significant, we start. And this is a daily chart. Now we are on daily chart on the Netflix. So we switch to daily chart on Netflix. We can see that this area was very significant. We are breaking out of this area right now. Let's say we are on this candle. Just disregard the one that's already happened there. So you get to the markets on the weekly chart. We mark this. We get to the daily chart. We see the market is breaking out. This is when we start, or this is when I start looking for the trades. At this point of time, when I see that market is breaking out on a daily chart, so let's say we are at this area here, this candle is still developing, so this candle is still not sure if it's going to close above or it's going to come down and retest these lows over here. But now we know the market is breaking out of this area. What I do, I switch to 4-hour chart. I take a look if there's any opportunity or any candle that would give me an entry to go long or to buy into the market. Nothing happens on a 4-hour chart. I go lower on a 1-hour chart. We see the candle at that point of time. Again, this is the area that we marked on a weekly chart. This is important area. Also daily chart. We see the market broke out, or we saw the market was breaking out of this area. We close on this 1-hour candle. These are 1-hour candles. Each one of them is a 1-hour candles. We take a look at this one. The candle closed above this area, so that confirms the bullish move. So after we notice that this candle broke out and closed above, we are on 1-hour chart, Netflix. We know now that the bulls are in control. The next session or next hour, we get the bears. They're trying to retest this area. They tried to go lower, so they drove the price lower than this line here. They drove the price lower. However, they were not able to hold the price below, so this move, or this bullish move above this line, is actually valid because bulls moved the price again above the area. So your entry into this trade would be above this candle, and this would be your profit. From there on, we are moving. So we had a significant area. We had a breakout in a sense that the price closed above. We saw the breakout happening on a daily chart. We go lower. We haven't found anything on a 4-hour chart. We go lower to the 1-hour chart, and then we find this beautiful signal to get long. And after this candle, you have your signal to go long. We are going with the trend. We can see right now the trend, since we are on a 1-hour chart, now we are following the trend on the 1-hour chart. It's also corresponding to the weekly and daily chart. And the price just continues on. You got your beautiful signal here, and you are in the trade. Amazon, I'm going to switch to weekly chart again. This would be something that I would look into. The most significant area that I can see right now, the market stalled quite a few times here. The highest high that was created, it was right there at this candle here. Let's make it bigger again. So this is the high that I mark on the weekly chart. We see the price was breaking out. We switch to daily chart to take a look if there's any opportunity, because we marked this area here. We can see the price broke out, but no signal was given for us to on the daily chart. We have no signal to move in. We go lower. We go on a 4-hour chart. We get on a 4-hour chart. We have an entry with this beautiful pin bar, and the market just takes off. The entry was at 2,556, and it went all the way to $2,783, which is about $200 worth of stock within 2 days. I think it's a 2-day trade. I know, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. In 6 days, you have a $200 worth of money in a stock. And why? Because you found the proper place to get into trade. And that's Amazon. Let's go to gold. Okay, we're looking at the gold at this point of time. We can see that previously we have these highs marked. So significant area of resistance. The gold is coming to this area of 1792, 1800. We can also see that the market is in a bullish move at this point of time. So it's moving with the trend. It's going up. So we are now at this area here. We can see that the bulls tried to push through this area before, and then we tried again. So this is becoming a very significant area of resistance. So now this is on a weekly chart. I marked this area, this stop, not this one, but this one. The reason why, because the price was not able to close on the other side. But now I can see the market is at that area again and is breaking out on the weekly chart. I go lower onto a daily chart. We can see that this area was clearly defined. Market stopped right at that area where I marked. Tried to break once, second time, and then on a third attempt we are going above this line that we already marked. On a daily chart we can see this breaking out again. We go to 4 hours. On a 4-hour chart, the break happens. The price closes above. This is not an engulfing candle, so this is not a signal to get into a trade. We have the second session or second 4 hours. We can see that the bulls are in control, and the market is pushing forward with the trend. On the third session, we get this beautiful signal, or this beautiful pin bar at this area with the entry of 1753. And if this was not good enough confirmation for you, you get this nice bullish bar that confirms all the move. The only problem with this bar would be your entry would be later. It's 1758 if you were waiting on that. And on this pin bar, your entry would be at 1753. So 58 or 53 is a difference of $5 per stock. If there's no signal developed, there's no trade for me. So we looked at gold, we looked at Amazon, Netflix. Let's take a look at the Apple. Here on Apple, we have, again, weekly chart. We go to the weekly chart. I already pre-marked here this area, but if we take a look, why this area is very significant. Every single one of these candles is a weekly candle, so it's 1 week of trading. So we can see that when the market was going in the upside, the bulls were fully in control. We came to the certain area, which was at $327. We stalled at this area. The bears took over a little bit, trying to push the market down. The bulls were fighting, and then bears took over, and the market fell to this area that we already pre-marked before, which was also a significant area right here, right here, right here, right here, and then the market gets this beautiful engulfing bar and takes off. But that's all in the past. We are looking for to the future, so we have this area marked. We had a weekly chart or weekly candle. We had a weekly candle that was breaking out of this area here and closing above. So we know that where the price is right now at this point of time. So, but take a look. Let's take a look at this area here again. We're gonna go lower to the one to a daily chart. Daily chart. We have a breakout. We have no signal to get into trade even after this breakout, but while this breakout is happening at this point of time, I would go even lower on a 4-hour chart, looking for the signals and what happens. And on a 4-hour chart, we have the breakout happening there. We can see the bulls are taking over again. The area is broken. The price broke out and they closed on the other side. The bears push down to retest this area, 328 area, and we have this beautiful pin bar with the entry above the candle, with a stop loss below the candle, and we ride the wave. Market comes down to retest this area again where we took off. We could have taken the profit right here, so it's about $30 in profit right there, 356 area from 328, so about $30, almost there. We have another opportunity to re-enter the market after pin bar develops here, and we have a bullish candle at this point of time. As the market goes, we get to the area here, which is again very significant area for us. The market stalled, pulled back, we stopped again, pulled back, we stalled again. Now we are breaking out on a 4-hour chart above that area. Let's take a look what happens on a 1-hour chart. And here we go again. So we break out, we get the beautiful bullish signal here, bullish pin bar, and the market takes off. If you missed the opportunity to get in on a 4-hour chart, we have the opportunity to get here. We finally break out of this area. We get this beautiful bullish pin bar continuation, and then we move on with the trend to $396 per stock. From this point, if you missed the first entry, you had an opportunity to re-enter the market. Now on a 1-hour chart, and within 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours of trading, you get $15 worth of stock or General Motors. We also have, we're gonna be moving on to a weekly chart. This is how I would look at it. We can see that market was in this kind of a bouncy area over here, finally broke down and went down to $14 area from 32 area, and then we get this nice area here that we can mark. Actually, that's kind of significant because the market pushed or pulled back from that area. So we have the mark of $25. You can see the market is breaking out. We see the area where market will be stalling. So I'm gonna go lower on a daily chart to take a look at that same area. We can see the same area that we marked over here. We have a daily chart right there. The market was struggling, but it finally broke out of that area and closed the price above. Once we broke above this area here, we get this candle here that closed the price above. The next session we have this engulfing bar. We get this engulfing bar here, not exactly on this area here, but we have the engulfing bar to go along. We can see the bulls are taking over again. and you can ride the market from that point of time. This new company called Nikola Corporation, they got listed around 2019, I believe. This is a company that actually deals with electric vehicles similar to Tesla. This company is developing huge electric trucks. We have the move, the market was climbing. The reason we have nothing to mark pretty much on the weekly chart except this area here. If the market would come down to retest this 35.40 area. But we are looking at the prices right now. It's at 70.35 area. So we're going to switch to the 1-day chart and we might see a clearer picture or a cleaner picture there. You can see the market actually pulled up to $94, came down, and now it's in this box. We are in this box here. So we are waiting for a market either to break out to the upside, which will be corresponding together with the trend, or downside to test this area right here. So far we were looking at stocks, now we are the futures, and we are with the light crude oil at this point of time. I marked some areas right here already, but we can see where the market stalled before. If I look at the past, we can see that these are significant areas. Market came down, retested this area, went through to that area, retested it again before taking off. Now we are back into the same area, and we have developed this huge pin bar on the weekly chart. Huge. The reason why we went almost minus $40 on this future light crude. It went back to $23 above this support line that was marked because it was significant in the past. Not a good trade to get into this one. It's a huge stop that it would go right here, and that's about like a $60 worth of a risk for markets to just go to this area, which is about $40. So risking 60 in order to get $20 in worth of trade from this area where you would get in, which is 23.76 to the area of 42. So about $20 worth. Huge risk for the little bit of reward. However, the next week, right after this candle here, confirmation comes from the bulls. We get this beautiful pin bar here, and you have an entry again of 21.14 above this pin bar here, and the market takes off. And for us to risk, okay, so risk $10, pardon me, to risk $10 after getting to trade in order to get $20 worth of stock, or in this case, it's the future trade. So in order for us to gain about a 2-to-1 ratio there, better entry can happen here, even on the weekly chart. So if you're a longer term trader, here's your signal right on the weekly chart. Take a look where we are right now. Take a look where we are right now. Like, we are sitting right on the resistance. We are sitting just short of resistance where the market stalled before in the past and had a problem going through that area. Yes, the bulls are in control at this point of time. Resistance, pardon me. We're getting into area of resistance where market might find the resistance impenetrable and come down again. So your investment of $40 would go back probably to $17 or $29 what we marked previously over there in the past. These kind of areas are very significant, and we should be really aware where we are placing our trades. We had a market that was falling, the bulls took over. If you missed this trade here on this pin bar, after this beautiful pin bar confirmed that the bears are not in control anymore and the bulls are coming into play, this would be your profit here. So that would be your trade if you were looking to go in long on a crude or to buy crude. But right now, this area here is a no area to buy. We have to wait for the market to break out of this area, to come down, create a signal again, as I showed on the previous examples, and then move on. S&P 500 over there, same exact scenarios from before. I would look into weekly charts to see what happened before. Market was at this area. We can see that this was a very significant area. So we marked this line here. This was an area where market stalled many times before. Since our price is very close to that area there, we will mark this area as kind of significant for us to look for the trades if the market comes down here to retest it. We also have to be aware that this area here, like this area here, would be our target if we were to get into a trade right here. So on a weekly chart, we have not much to mark over there. We'll go lower on the daily chart to see if there's any opportunities for us to trade. And here we go. We had the market breaking out. The price closed above that line that we already marked through. Bears tried to take over and retest. They stopped at the same line. We get the spin bar to go long. If you miss this trade here, market goes up, comes down, retests, and then you have this almost a golfing bar here to go again into market if you want to rebuy into this market, with the first area here to look for as a first location for us to take a profit. This brings me back to Air Canada. I would look into a weekly chart, and the weekly chart is giving me this channel where market is slowly moving to the upside. There's not much to report about Air Canada right now. We have this middle line that's marked with this dotted line where market was stalling for quite a long time. We are in this kind of a no man's land or no man's zone where we have no opportunity. Even if we would get a signal, I would not be trading there because of these two areas. They're clearly signaling price being stuck between the $13 and 22. My overview of this stock would be waiting for the market to either come to this area here, breaks out, retests again this area, it gives me some kind of a signal, and then move on. $28 area, that's very significant for us to look for. Or what can happen also, the market can come to this area here, retest again $22, either come down to the middle and go sideways like we are right now, create this kind of a box again, and then come down to this area here to retest at the $13. Hopefully we get a new signal here and we take off, and then this will be our target to look for. So from $13 to $22. At the moment we are in this middle area, and market is pretty much going sideways. There's no signals for us to get into any trades. This is Sony Corporation right now. We are looking at the weekly chart. Somebody in the forum mentioned that it's a great opportunity to invest into Sony Corporation. I agree. It's a good company. However, is it a good opportunity to get into trade right now? Well, I would be really thinking hard before I would go into this trade. And the reason why, as you can see on a weekly chart, we can see for 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 weeks, we were struggling to go through this 73 area. Then we come back again, and almost to the point, actually to the point, we stall at the same area. So this is the area we're looking at. This is significant resistance area for the Sony Corporation. We come back again to retest, and the bears take over. They take the market all the way down to here, so almost $64. What I want from this market to show me if it's strong enough to break it is to break out of this area like this, come back here, retest, and then we have a good opportunity with a good signal to move on to the next significant area. So if somebody tells you right now that's a great opportunity to invest in this company, and they're coming with the new products and everything, yes, that's all fine, that's fantastic, but you're buying into resistance. Is this market going to break out? You don't know. You have no idea to know that. Is this going to pull back now back to $52 or $60? Yes, I would love to see that. So no, I can see $60 as a very significant area where I would look for another signal to go along to $73, and that would give you an opportunity to have a $13 per share into this market. And when we talk about pullbacks, that would be the pullback that I would wait for. So I would wait for the market to come down either 64 or 62 or $60, or even come back here to $52 and retest that area, and then from that area to move, go long and buy into the market again. So this is why not to trade. This is why not to listen to somebody before you actually make judgment for yourself, or take a look at the chart to see if actually this opportunity, what they're talking about, is actually a valid opportunity to do something about it. Regardless if you're a long-term trader or not, you are buying into resistance. You never do that, and you never sell the support. You don't sell the support. You wait until the market breaks, pulls back, retests, and then you go short. All right, so let's move on to the weekly chart on Tesla. This is Tesla. We can see the market was waving. It's going into upside. We can see that this is a significant area of resistance for Tesla, and this was a $1,000 mark. Once we reached that area, again, after quite a few weeks of trading, market fell down, and when we came back here, we are looking, then we have another move from the bulls, which was very significant because it closed the price above this very, very significant area of resistance. Now we are in this land here above. We have what the market always does. The market broke out. We are now pulling back. We are waiting for the signal to get into long. Okay, this is how it should work out. So we're going to move down to the 1-day chart to see what happened. So we had a breakout here. The price broke and closed above. Was not able, it was a retest here. Bears took over, and bears pushed the price down below this green line. And again, market was rejecting this 1,000 mark. I think it was a 969, okay, 972, pardon me, 972 mark. We pulled back, price closed down. So this was basically fake out that happened, and there was no movement above that area. But then in the next week, we get this beautiful engulfing bar that closes above. Your signal to enter on this bar is at 1,000, around 1,000 mark. We are aiming to go at least to 1,028, $1,030. That would be our area to look for profits, or to take some profits. But since this is such a huge candle, and there would be a huge risk, I mean, if you put the stop at 904 and you're waiting to get only about $30, so that's about $100 risk in order to get to $30 in stock worth of stock. So we would go down further to a smaller time frame to see if we get any other opportunities to go along. Nothing on a 4-hour chart, so we had nothing there. If I move to 1-hour chart, and here we go. So we had this black candles. These black candles here represent that huge engulfing bar that I showed on a weekly chart. Market comes down, and we have this pin bar, this beautiful pin bar here developed here at this right on 971 mark, or this resistance that was broken out, and the market was retesting it. It retested it. Your entry would be at 983. Now we have 983 to 1028 area. So our targets at this point of time would be, if we entered on that candle, would be $50 per stock. Our risk from entry was 83. The risk would be 68. So your risk would be $10 to gain about $50 in a price or in a stock. Let's see how far we went. We went to 1012, so $1,012. So that's about $30 already in profit. So 3 to 1 would be on this candle here if you entered on 1 hour. Moving on to Disney, we can see the Disney. Somebody was talking about Disney and buying into a market. Somebody bought it at $100, and that was a good area here to buy in. The only problem that I saw with that stock was the $112 area where the market stalled before, and we had this. We had this beautiful signal to buy into this market at $106. So about $6 worth of trade in the beginning, with the risk of about $7. So that would be 1-to-1 kind of a risk reward ratio. To me, that's not good enough to go into a trade. Also, I was looking at this area here, and if I put the line right here, we can see the market had a huge problem going through this area here. Market had huge stalling right here at this area, could not go through, also stalled at this area here. For me to get into trade with this, with the risk this much, and to gain this little bit of the profit right here to this point, or even to this point, it was not worth enough to go into trade. However, when we broke out of this area at $112, when we broke out, we went all the way up to $127. Market came down up to here. We created this beautiful morning star. We have an entry right here, and we are expecting market to go to this area here. If you are not sure how this would work out, well, this was a nice engulfing bar, and your entry would go above the bar. Stop loss would go below the bar, and this would be like 1-to-1 again. But now more clear picture of where market could go, because there's only once the market kind of had a little bit stalling, comparing to this area here where the market was stalling to almost 5 times to get into this trade. So if somebody would tell you, yeah, this is a great opportunity to get into trade, you again buying into resistance, not knowing if it's going to break that area or not. So it's a huge risk to go into. We are looking at the Euro weekly chart. We can see the price was basically stalling here in kind of a box. On a weekly chart, it looks like a box, but when I switch to one-day charts, we're going to see that we are actually in a range. Market was in the range. It was basically trading from 1.077 to 1.098. So it was moving basically back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We also see that this dotted red line here that was going through, that was that middle area, that's that no man's land that I say always not to buy or sell at that area, because you never know how far the market would go or if it's going to turn around against you right away. So what we were expecting here for the market to break out of this area here, which was really significant, either to the upside or to the downside, and that's exactly what happened with this. So let's take a look how this trade worked out. We are on a daily chart. We can see the market is breaking out of this area here, which was marked before. We can see that when we go to 4-hour chart, we get this beautiful engulfing bar that broke out. Your entry would go above the candle. Your stop loss would go below the candle, and we would ride the market from there. Let's say if you did not take this trade and you waited for the market to come back and retest this area, we get another opportunity probably at this area to go into with this little engulfing bar here. So we are now on the 1-hour chart, and we can see that this breakout happened with this beautiful huge engulfing bar on 1 hour. We came down to retest this area once again on 1-hour chart, and we get this beautiful engulfing bar right on the spot. Your entry would be at 110.17. Your risk would be 1.099, so about 17 points, with the profit to be going into the upside. So the entry would be there. This would be the first area that would be kind of a problematic. So that would be the way I look into trade. I always go from the weekly chart. On Sundays, I take a look at the stuff that I'm interested into trading. I take a look at the stocks, futures, basically everything that's tradable via chart. Currencies, I mostly deal with currencies because they're very liquid and they're very fast moving, and profits are much easier to make. But now you have an idea of how I would look into trades and how to find these opportunities to trade, and not listen to people that would tell you, yes, this is a great opportunity to go and buy into trades, and then you end up losing money because you're buying into a resistance or you're selling into a support. It's all on the live charts. You can take a look at yourself, all these examples that I showed. Try to mark all these areas if you're interested in learning how this is done, and then you will understand and see that this markets are repeating itself over and over. That can be very profitable for any of you, either if you are a daily trader or if you're planning to invest a long term. You would look into higher time frames like weekly or monthly charts to see where the market is, if there's an opportunity for you to get in. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, this is Sasha. I hope this was helpful for everybody to learn more how everything's being looked at and how professional traders actually look for trades. Please stay tuned. I will be publishing more videos like this. In order to do this kind of stuff, it takes me a while to edit all these videos and to make sure that you get the best information out. So please do support me by subscribing to my channel. That helps me a lot. Thank you. Have a great day.